Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champions. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin alongside my partner Charles Davis. And CD, you look at these LA Chargers, champions of the AFC, making just their second Super Bowl appearance. You remember they were blown out by the 49ers back in Super Bowl 29, but remember that was a much different team than this one.
And think about this team. If they can accomplish what they're setting out to do in this ball game, win a Super Bowl, they would enter their new building as the Super Bowl champions. This team has been around a while. It's moved a little bit, but here they are with a chance to take a Lombardi Trophy into their new facility. And think about them in the old days in the AFL and how great they were. They'd like to reclaim that glory as the champions of all of football.
Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings are back in the big game for the 5th time in franchise history. But we all know one thing has eluded them all these years.
And that's an actual Super Bowl victory, partner. They're 0-4 in their previous visits. Super Bowls 4, 8, 9, and 11. And, boy, they had some great teams, too, didn't they? Bud Grant was their head coach, Fran Tarkenton a quarterback, Alan Page and the Purple People Eaters on defense. They were all Hall of Famers. And don't forget Paul Krause. He's a very proud member of that great secondary they had. So we're going back more than 40 years since their last visit. You think the state of Minnesota is excited about this one? I know they are. They're ready to get this one going.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This one complete to Jordan Reed. That'll be a gain of 16, and it's a 2nd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. 48 yards. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They give to Bush going right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
On 1st down, it's Walker. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Kill. Turn up. Kill.
run for the first time with Johnson. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They'll run it with Johnson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Johnson. And some space here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards down the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Vikings' 33-yard line.
He's checking. Check 3. Check. Wrong. Check.
On 2nd down now. It's Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
On 2nd down, Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
Check 13.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
14.
A give. This is Bush. And some room to work. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there. Either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 24-yard line.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd and 7, Wilson dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Defense wins championships, baby. Switch. Alert.
1st and goal, Bush. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Switch. 14. Check. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They'll try again down here with Bush. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Go, defense. Alert. contact. Hey, 0-0-0.
McCaffrey. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down.
Hey, 0-0-0.
Here we go with McCaffrey. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Christian McCaffrey taking it in. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They go to Johnson again. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. The defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
No. Check nickel. Hey, switch gears.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about it. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson. He's got him in. Complete. It's Julian Edelman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who can make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, it's Bush, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, they stick with Bush. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
On first down, Bush. Now they'll throw it with Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Whip. Watch the whip. Huh.
Wilson. Forced out to his... And the Vikings are in for the touchdown. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Johnson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
A 4-yard gain. It's 4th down.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. Here we go with Johnson. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Anthony Lynn went for it but did not get it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
14. Check 3.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Bush. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Gotta go, in and out, go.
They'll keep it in the hands of Bush. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Bush on 3rd down. Now a loose football. The ball comes out and picked up by the Chargers. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. The Charger drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares?
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A big play. 9 yards. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Joseph now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it. That's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And again, it's Collins. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Being chased out left. He'll try and run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and
1.
Throwing now is Wilson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
It's now 4th down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
All go special. All go special. 14, run it.
They'll try and throw forward with Wilson. He's going to take a shot for and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.